Hello, this is Phantasma, and today I'm going to be talking about efficiency and how you do your hotkeys. This is something that's often overlooked that after you get past the early stages of learning Dota, it's something that will bring so much efficiency, so much value to your gameplay if you can fix this. Quick cast is the big topic of this, and how useful quick cast is. A lot of people recommend not using quick cast because of reasons like being able to self-cast your abilities easier, being able to teleport home without messing up, and the biggest one is being able to accurately target what you're trying to target. The example usually used is Puck. Dream Coil. If you're trying to land Dream Coil, you need to be able to see the AoE of it. You can't just know the AoE, but after you have some experience in Dota, you are going to have a feel for the AoE, and quick cast is going to bring a lot of value to your gameplay at that point. The first thing that I'd like to talk about is enable separately bindable quick cast hotkeys. This is under advanced hotkeys in the hotkeys tab, and this will allow you to do very fancy things with your hotkeys. What you'll see I've done is I have my normal cast is all alt QWER, where my quick cast is normal QWER. This allows you to cast your spells as fast as possible, but if you're playing Puck and you're trying to line up that Dream Coil, you can hold Alt and then hit the respective hotkey to then line up the AoE before jumping in. Or, if you just want to be careful about it, you can hit Alt R in the middle of the fight just to make sure you're landing it properly. And if you're trying to self-cast an ability, like Legion Commander's W, you just hold Alt and double tap W with double tap ability to self-cast enabled. Now, the next thing I'd like to talk about is items. Items, a lot of people like to do 1 through 6 number keys above QWER. Now, this is a great idea because it's very important not to take your hand away from home row QWER because that could get you killed. Back in Warcraft 3, people would use the number pad for their items, and that would involve you taking your hand all the way off QWER to put it on the number pad to use your item hotkey, or to take your hand off your mouse to use your item hotkey, and neither of these seem like very good ideas. So by having them on 1 through 6, that allows you to very easily cast your items along with your abilities without moving your hand. But this stops you from being able to use control groups, and control groups are so useful on a large variety of heroes. So, what I would say is you should not use your number pad, or not your number pad, your 1 through 6 above the QWER for your items. Instead, what I do is I use Z, X, and C, the 3 below QWE. Then I use space, T, and D. Now, all of this is very, very deliberate. Space is what I would put something like a blink dagger on, where I can't think about it, I just throw my thumb down, my thumb's always on that hotkey, and I will be able to blink to dodge things. As far as T and Z are concerned, not all of these are set to quick cast. Z and T are not set to quick cast because one of them is the hotkey for teleport, and the other is the hotkey for items such as observer wards, where I want to double tap my wards to swap them without accidentally just spamming wards at my feet. I might have other items like Force Staff or Yules that I might throw on this hotkey if I know that I'm going to be using them primarily for self-casting. If you have your teleport on on quick cast and you double tap your teleport without alt or anything else, you will just teleport to the nearest tower, or the nearest creep if you have travels. And that's not something that you want in a lot of situations. If you are not intentionally trying to teleport to the tier 1 as an offlaner to save experience, for example, the amount of time you're losing needing to walk back to base after teleporting to a tier 1 is so detrimental to your gameplay that it might be irrecoverable at times. The reason I use D instead of, well, first of all, the reason I use F and G instead of D or F and D and F, sorry for misspeaking so bad there, is because the likelihood that you're going to have an item that you need to cast easily is higher than the probability that you're going to have a second sub-skill on a hero that you need to cast very often. And I also want to have F and G, or D and F, next to each other if I'm playing a hero like Invoker who needs to quickly move that one finger over back and forth to hit those different hotkeys. If I'm playing a hero like Ember Spirit, for example, I'm going to hit R to throw my Remnant, and then I just pull my finger right down and hit F to jump to that Remnant. That's no more time consuming than hitting D. In fact, it might even be faster depending on the layout of your keyboard, like mine. So this is very deliberate. Now I'd like to move on to control groups for a moment. Because I use 1 for select hero, because I want to be able to select my hero very quickly, I use 4 for my courier. So if I want to just quickly tap my courier, see if my bottle that I'm bottle crowing with has refilled, I can hit 4 back to 1, 4 back to 1 very easily. 5 is deliver items, so I can look at my courier, see the bottle, hit 5, then 1. This is very easy to do. And then there's only 2 hotkeys, 2 and 3 left for me to do control groups with. But now it's like I have the same issue as I would have with items on 1 through 6, except now I use control group 3 as F2. So I hit 2, then I hit 3, and then I can just move my finger up a little bit and hit F2, or whatever would be different on your keyboard. Now, the likelihood that I'm going to have at least 2 things I want in control groups, or 1, 2, or 0 things, is higher than the likelihood of 3. Let's say I'm playing Naga. I send one of my illusions by hitting 2, sending them down a lane, 3, sending them down a lane. Then I just move my hand up F2. There is an urgency to hit that third one. If I'm not a Meepo player myself, but if I was, I may need to move my courier hotkey somewhere else. But in the meantime, I'm trying to get the maximum efficiency for the highest number of heroes, and this is the way to do it. Next, I'm going to talk about some other options. So let me go to the Options tab, and you have a variety of options. The first one I want to talk about is Teleport requires hold stop. Enable this. This will stop you from accidentally canceling teleport scrolls and losing sequential fights that are happening that you are not present in. It'll also stop you from, if you're playing Templar Assassin, there is a bug I should just talk about. At the point that you're watching this, it may have been fixed, but if you detonate side traps while teleporting with the setting enabled, you will break your teleport, even though this is something that TA doesn't actually need to do anything to activate. Right-click to force attack is another setting that I would recommend for efficiency. So I know myself when I'm in lane, I spam S, I move around, and then I right-click the creep that I want to kill when I want to kill it. Now, if I want to kill an allied creep, get a deny, I would have to hit A and then click the creep. That's so much unnecessarily, and then I might accidentally select the creep, or select the enemy hero. So, right-click to force attack, there's less chance that you're going to accidentally select. The same is true for why you use quick cast for your spells, or quick attack as seen here for your attacks. It's all to stop you from one less click efficiency. Center camera on hero respawn. This is a setting that is terrible. You're going to want to disable this for sure, because this setting means that when you revive, your camera moves to the fountain every time. This stops you from watching a fight, waiting until you revive, and then teleporting into the fight immediately from the perspective of the fight. Because your camera's going to move back to respawn, you have to move your camera back to the fight to like travel to a specific creep, or just do it from the minimap, which you might mess up, target a creep that's about to die, etc. There's just no benefit to this. This is a setting that's enabled by default because new players might lose track of their hero or not realize that they're reviving. Next, I'd like to say, use Alt to show hero icons, invert Alt toggle. These are two settings that are very useful because if you're playing a hero like Storm Spirit, sometimes you're going to want to jump on somebody, and to just look at the map, you might see different colors, but that might not give you enough information to know, is that a Pudge there? Is that a Crystal Maiden there? Is that an Anti-Mage there? These all warrant different responses. You might be able to pick off the Crystal Maiden. The Pudge might be able to catch you and disable you before you can ball lightning away. An Anti-Mage might be the target you're looking for, might not be able to add much to the fight, might have Mana Void. To be able to just glance at your minimap and know exactly what heroes are present is game-changing. With this new patch, we also have holding Alt allows you to see things such as hero attack or tower attack range, neutral spawn boxes, and these are things I can't tell you how many hours I've put into carefully figuring out the best places to get ward vision in different areas while blocking certain camps, and to just have a setting where you hit Alt instead of needing to go into a custom game to see the regions. It's great. Under advanced options, let's see, minimap misclick protection time. This will prevent you, if you're playing on Radiant and you're running away from somebody mid, to accidentally click the Dire fountain on the minimap and turn around and run back to your death. Nobody wants that to happen, but it happens to everybody. And to just be able to make that threshold 0.5 seconds is no longer a risk. If you're actually trying to control things on the minimap, you're going to hold your mouse there, you're going to hit the right control groups, and you're going to click, and it's not going to change anything. Auto-repeat right mouse is a setting they've added in this patch as well. This enables you, when you're trying to get the bounty rune at the beginning of the game, to just hold your mouse over the rune and hold right-click down, and you will just spam right-click faster than everybody else. Now, that's quite self-explanatory, the best way to get the bounty rune. I believe I've covered everything that I wanted to cover, so thank you for watching. This was Phantasma. If you have anything that you'd like to see in future videos, please make comments below, and I will do my best to help you out and talk about those subjects. Thank you, and have a nice day.